Hello, welcome to Book Club. Today, Book Club
Yeah.
is continuing from where we left off in Twilight of the Idols, Expeditions of an Untimely Man. We didn't get very far. Um, the goal is we get farther today. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Again, I suppose. But it was good. I think that last one about the architect, that was all some good stuff. Um, Before that, Howie, you go first. Thanks, Howie. Okay, so not too much going on with me. Uh, Nicole's sister came in for about a week and a half. It was actually pretty cool. We did a lot of things. Obviously I was working, so Nicole and her did a lot more. But the parts I did get to do some time with, I am now a season pass holder for Six Flags.
Dude, I feel like you're just talking to yourself.
Okay, Howie, go ahead, Howie. We're a season pass holder at Six Flags.
But isn't fun. It's funny though, right? Like that is funny.
Oh, dude. You're a funny guy, Howie. But anyways, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, season pass holder.
Thank you. Can we stop interrupting my conversation I'm having with myself? Oh my goodness. Yeah, for more amazing content like this, remember hit the follow and subscribe button.
Yeah, hit it early. Hit it while we're peeking.
Uh, oh man, this is gonna be a crazy episode. Anyways, so now season pass holders at Six Flags for this year. Went to Six Flags actually like 2 times. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
It's so sad how like you're there for a lot of the day and you only get to ride like 4 rides, you know? It's actually so
That's what
sad.
season pass is all about.
Well, no, it's not like the
You tell-
fast pass. It's
Are
like
you telling me you go the whole day and you're just waiting in lines like the whole time?
you're waiting in lines for like most because like if you think about it, the ride's like what, 10 minutes at most, and then
Not even.
yeah,
There's no way if a roller coaster is 10 minutes, that's like insane amount of time. I don't even think you could handle it.
5 minutes at most. Um, Maybe 2 minutes at most. Anyways, you get the point I'm trying to say, and so. The lines is I think the issue right now is that it's like super busy season. I mean spring break. It's like everyone's
Mhm.
going. So line
Yeah.
we literally waited in like a line once for like 2 hours.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Was it worth?
But sometimes a few of the rides, yeah, actually.
Sometimes. It's a gamble.
That's why you go on like a Monday at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
True.
You're golden.
And so like it was I mean like really most of the rides we went on were pretty worth it. It was actually like really fun. So that was cool. We did that. And then we also went to Ripley's Believe It or Not museum here near Dallas. Got to do like a wax museum. I got to see our president of the current United States have his thumbs up. That was really cool. Dude, I also went to this horror max museum, like the horror, there's like horror portion. It was low key actually kind of scary. I usually don't really get like that scared by stuff.
It was
Like
spooking you?
this one actually kind of spooked me.
Was it unnerving?
It was unnerving.
Yeah.
It was.
You just walked in and it was Trump with his thumbs up.
I was gonna say, are you sure you are in a different part of the museum?
That's so funny. No, not this one. No, but it was. I mean, it was like on everything. I guess like I feel like if it was like regular people wearing costumes, it'd actually be like less scary. But because they're like
Yeah.
wax figures and it's actually like so realistic, it was a little freaky.
Interesting.
The fact that I knew that there was like no one else in there besides me too, I think also added to
Oh, I
the
didn't
fear.
think about that.
Um, but there's also a mirror maze too there. Like the Ripley's place was actually pretty cool.
I've always wanted to do a mirror maze.
It's actually pretty fun. It was
One of those
cool.
really long, big, real mirror mazes.
This one wasn't like super long, but like I mean we like went in there and hung out in there for like we did like 2 times. Like I went in like we went in there at the very beginning, then like, after we did the actual museum, went in there again. Yeah. Um
You can't cheat by like looking down though. You have to let yourself be lost.
yeah. You have to actually have the experience.
Yeah.
I would hit every fucking mirror. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think
You
I
you
do
actually
all
have
the
to put
time.
gloves on before you go in,
That
so
makes
that way you don't
sense.
like smudge the mirrors or stuff like that if when you touch
That's
them.
awesome. As you
Um,
will.
yeah, because you're definitely not just going out to like really allow yourself to just walk into a mirror. Like if you do like 2 times, like you're gonna start. Okay, all right, let me let me actually start trying to feel out a little bit. Um, yeah, but I mean that was kind of it for the most part. Other than that, just kind of working per usual. Another normal day at the office. Trying to think if there's anything else. Any other fun attractions? They went to the Perot Museum in Meowth. They went and did that. It was pretty. I'm sure that they looked like they had a good time there. They went to botanical gardens as well. I love
Oh,
botanical gardens. Actually,
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I've been to one in Colorado and then the one in DC. And both times it was pretty
You go
solid.
to the one in Denver?
Yes.
That's what I went to.
Hey, Connor, we've like been connected just like
Yeah,
throughout
man.
space and time. Honestly,
Chums, we stick together, man.
Chums for life. We knew each other before we knew each other. Um,
I mean, you were there at Connor's birthday party,
I
remember?
was. I barely even knew Connor, and I was there. Um, that's it for me. With that, I'll go ahead and just pass it to the diagonally to David.
Oh,
Okay, I was about to say, please tell your name because my screen is all jumbled up because I'm on the phone right now. Um, what have I been up to? I got my adult duties taken care of. I got an eye exam after not going to the eye doctor for 5 years. So I finally updated my prescription. That was cool. I can see HD soon. Um,
Ooh,
I was telling y'all earlier, the company's still growing. Everything's being taken care of, and we're starting to evolve a little bit more. The next part of the evolution, aside from what I told y'all from this photo room, we've rented a 40-yard container for 30 days. So there's going to be a massive cleanup, massive, massive, massive cleanup going on there.
wait, a 40-yard container? Like it's 40 yards long. What does
It's
that mean?
40 cubic yards that you.
Okay.
but you can store 40 cubic yards into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can put a yard into it. 40
I
of them.
yes, I couldn't tell y'all exactly. Lengthwise, it's like
Thanks, Connor.
A lot of houses.
There's a lot of
Sometimes
houses.
I say something and Connor's the only one that even smiles. He's like the only one that thinks what I said is funny.
Oh,
Just
I thought you were being
appreciate him for that.
serious. Were
I
you
thought you were being
joking?
serious. Yeah, I was
You were
genuinely
making
trying
a
to finish
joke?
off.
Yes.
Oh.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It wasn't funny anyways, clearly.
That's why we're having a housing crisis, man. You can fit 40 of them in one container.
Dude. Oh,
Um,
shit.
yeah, so big cleanup coming soon. That's going to be a very big part of the work. So still busy, busy, busy. Like I told y'all, parrot, new pet, new mascot. Building its whole house. Gonna continue doing that tomorrow. Pretty much all day. So I'll send you a progress pics. I might post a TikTok for the company. Just
Ooh.
Ooh.
never hurts.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little
Little
more
marketing.
content.
Little marketing
A little
strategy.
Marketing
marketing.
era.
Yeah. A little bit more, but yeah, guys, that's about it for me. Still busy, 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 taking care of stuff. So I'll pass it off to Connor.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
To you.
Shoot. I just
Con man.
completed my first EMS job, or technically my second EMS job, but my first full install.
Let's go gain
And
that EMS experience.
dude, we fucking
Emergency services.
Killed it? Hell yeah.
no, we fucking killed it, dude.
Let's go.
Previously, it took our team in Dallas. Granted, it was a bigger store that they were doing. It took them 4 weeks. Me and a dude from Dallas, we got it done in one.
Whoa. That's a clappable
Huge.
Literally.
moment. That's a clappable
Huge.
moment. Hell yeah.
There's a reason he won that employee award.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got employee of the
We get
week.
this guy another promotion.
What was that?
I said, can we get you another promotion?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's right there. I'm expecting a raise at the end of this month.
Hell yeah.
So I was in Dallas for that week, Monday through Friday or Sunday through Friday, and then I got back. I fell asleep woke up Monday and had to go to Corpus Christi for 3 days. Um, I'm tired of traveling, and now I'm on call this weekend, and I work next Saturday. And we're starting our busy season, and I have another EMS job at the end of this month for a week, and then I'll have another one 2 weeks after that for a week, and then I'll be on call again.
Dang, dude.
So I'm yeah, it's beginning.
Here we go.
what I've been waiting for. It's the
Yeah,
classic
you're excited,
episode of
aren't you?
the HVAC industry. Yeah, oh yeah, so excited.
Hey, man, it just sounds like you got to stock up on glue to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
need a
gotta get
lot
some
of glue
good
to get
glue.
through this summer,
More glue.
for sure. But yeah, that's basically it. Just been working. Well, pass it off to Seth Word.
That word. That's me.
I'm so glad that nickname stuck.
Seth Word, yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
It is. It's
One of my proudest moments, gotta say.
one of
Top
your
5 moment.
proudest
One of my
moments.
proudest moments of all my 23 years of life.
I hope none of your family or your girlfriend or anybody that cares about you watches this podcast.
Listen to that moment.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, life's been chugging along. I've been enjoying some weekends at home to get things in order. I've been doing a lot of apartment searching, so that's been kind of fun, a little exciting. Getting excited about a new place, getting excited about a new city. Really, that's been a ton of fun. I've been playing a little bit of Slay the Spire too. A little bit.
Ooh, dude. I've been hearing about
A
that
little
game.
bit. It's good. I mean, the first one, actually, I have Steam open right now. I had over 200 hours in the first one, so I was really excited for this one, and it has lived up to expectations. It's like it's all you really ever want in a sequel, which is like everything the first game had, but more and better. Like you don't change things up on me. Don't completely reinvent the wheel like you did. You did great. Just make more, and that's exactly what they did. So they nailed it.
Hype.
That's been fun, dude. I feel like there's got to be something else going on in my life. I'm just not thinking about it.
I mean, you got
Can't
big
think
stuff
of
coming up, you know?
I mean,
You're just
apartment searching in and
preparing.
of itself is kind of, that's a
Yeah, you're
big,
just preparing.
it. Is
big
it's actually taking a lot of
transition.
time.
What's that like, by the way, actually, that process? Like, how's that, like, is it hard? Is it, like, stressful?
For searching for apartments?
Yeah.
Are there certain things you're
Well,
looking for, or certain things you don't,
oh man, you're
you're
making me realize how
avoiding?
much time I've actually put into this because the actual looking at apartments like online has just recently started, but I spent a lot of time figuring out like where do I want to live in the city. So I spent a bunch of time researching all these different areas and like I want somewhere that's walkable, somewhere that's like got a larger collection of younger people, people I can make friends with. A
I didn't
place
even think
that's
about the age or any sort of.
yeah,
Yeah. We
yeah, you
don't need
don't
more
realize
friends,
it
Seth.
until
Hearing
you're walking.
walkable is
Yeah,
crazy.
apparently I don't need. Apparently I shouldn't be making any more friends. Apparently I should be getting rid of some. But you know,
That's a healthy thing to
You
do.
said it,
agree
man,
to
not us.
disagree.
Yeah, you're
Agree to
saying some very
disagree.
healthy things.
So are there shops in the area that I'm interested in? Is it close to a place? Is it close to green space? Is it affordable? Which granted, it's most everything in the city is going to be somewhat affordable for me. So that's really nice. So it's more like what kind of life do I want to live? The green space thing's like a really big deal because Anna wants to do the marathon in Nashville. She did one in New York, and she was pretty close to like a qualifying time for the Boston. So having a place where she can run is like really important. So there's a lot that went into it, and I finally got it narrowed down to like 4 neighborhoods that I think satisfy, and I will be telling each and every one of them to everyone exactly where I'm going to be living, my address, and no, I'm kidding. But
Oh, I appreciate the
Ah,
fans appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
now that I've
Patreon
like got
exclusive. Patreon exclusive.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get that for you
yes.
guys.
now that I've gotten that narrowed down, it's starting to actually be like, okay, where in these places can I live? And I think I already have a couple that are kind of on the top of the list. But there's two more neighborhoods I got to look at, but they're not as exciting, so they're not as close to downtown. Um, and yeah, and then I'm gonna tour. So I actually have a flight. I'm going to Nashville to actually tour these places because I have to see them in person. I
Yeah,
must.
for sure. No,
I
100%.
can't.
When you're going to live
Um,
somewhere, for sure, you always want to see in
yeah,
person.
100%. Especially because it's not even just a decision for me because she's probably gonna stay in the same apartment complex I'm in. So I really want to be very sure that like this is a good place to be. So that I got a deadline, which is actually really helpful, by the way. If you ever want to get something done, give yourself a deadline and then book a flight
Yeah.
and it'll get done,
Is
you know?
is she not visiting any of them with you?
No, it's not really like feasible for her. She's really, really busy
I see.
um
Yeah.
this upcoming time and it just she trusts me, which is really nice. Um so but I have to be a good steward of that trust and do my due diligence and pick a good place.
Make sure you get it
Um,
right.
Yeah, which I think I will. I'm really happy with the place I'm at right now. I think it's really nice. It's kind of small, but it hasn't stopped me from inviting like 12 people to my house every once in a while. So, um, if
You'll
if
make
I
it.
can make this place work, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
sure you'll be fine.
You already got furniture too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And dude, my dad is so clutch. He has a moving truck. Like I don't really know how he got it, but he has one. Like
Yeah,
just an
like he just has
unlabeled.
one.
Yeah.
Let me
And
let me hit up
so
your dad. That's if I ever move.
yeah, you'll
Yeah,
drive all the way out to Texas.
yeah.
You would do it. I mean, that's the thing is he's literally going to drive out here. We're going to put all our stuff in the moving truck and then drive back, and it's going to save me like almost $3,000. It's crazy.
Dude, that stuff's so
So,
expensive.
shouts out to my dad. He's a real trooper. He's going to drive 12 hours to get to his son. Good dad. Good dad
Yeah.
shit.
I guess
Um,
he loves you.
I guess so.
Maybe.
I guess so.
Maybe.
But also, like, yeah, exactly. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that process is moving along. And you're right. I think it feels like not a lot is happening because it's kind of like calm before the storm. Um,
Yeah,
because
dude, you're
once I
about to be
tour the
so busy.
apartments, it's like
Oh, it's real.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be real, real. When I get back, it's literally boom, boom. Like after when the weekend I leave to tour the apartments, I will not be home for a weekend in Houston until the weekend I'm moving out. So it's I'm trying to chill.
Dang, that Civ game after you move into your new place
Yeah,
might
it's gonna go
actually
crazy.
wait. Yeah. That may
Like
just be the move. I can't either.
That way we can pick up where we left off, which would be paragraph 12 about the fantastic life of Thomas Carlyle.
paragraph 12 out of
Oh
52.
wow.
God, I completely forgot we only got halfway of what we actually read.
I
We
feel like I
just
just had to
got
remind y'all about that we're on paragraph 12.
Praying that we don't run into any more foundational philosophical ideas.
I will say, I
Yeah.
think like a lot of the good stuff I think was towards the end. So,
I
Yeah.
agree.
so I think we might be able to make it through this time.
Hmm.
'Cause, I mean, okay, actually, one thing actually right off the bat in paragraph 12 that like one line I actually really enjoyed was
Hmm.
he says, "The desire for a strong fate is not the proof of a strong fate, rather the opposite. If one has it, one may permit oneself the beautiful luxury of skepticism. One is secure enough, firm enough, fixed enough for it." And I like that part because that kind of resonated with me where when it comes to some kind of faith or belief you have in life, I think it should be something that you like are so strong in and fully invested in that like, exactly what he's saying here, like you can allow skepticism to come in because you're not even going, it's not going to shake you at all. And so when he said that, which is really interesting to me because about like the whole idea of like Christian faith, when he's trying to like shake it up in a sense, but at the same time, he's like, if you really have absolute faith in it, that you should not even be shaken up by it. Um, but yeah, that was just like an idea that I have that I think is like so important to life is like making sure that you are head like steadfast on who you are and your beliefs.
You think he had real respect for what for I guess a true Christian?
I think he does. The
I kind of
issue
think he
is
does too.
I think he does. The issue is to him it's like so incredibly rare that like someone's like an actual true Christian, you know, and not just like using it for some kind of personal motive or like saying they're Christian and not actually following any belief or just using it to be like
To
I'm
feel
just
less
as good
guilty
as
about some
you.
actions or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
I mean, for what
so,
it's
yeah.
worth, like what Christianity like calls you to be, it's a pretty tall order when you think about it. If you're to actually follow what it puts in front of you. Um, if you were to like, people always say like, what would Jesus do? And it's like, if you actually think about it, it's like, bro, what Jesus would do is like 99% of the time, not at all what I would do. Like, there's no way. Like, he does some crazy stuff that I could just never imagine that being my first response, And I think that's why it's rare. I think, for me personally, it's not even just about like what a true Christian is, but it's like, are you trying? Like that's what's frustrating. It's people who aren't even trying. They just say they got it and they let that be enough, you know. And this isn't even just a Christianity thing. I feel like if you meet people who like tell you that they are this thing, they give you this identity, and then it's so obvious that they just want the label. They don't actually want to live it. They're not actually trying. It's very frustrating. It's just that it's a mismatch of what they say they want to be or what they are and what they are actually trying to be, you know.
Like it's the thing with vegans for some reason vegan came to my
Yeah.
head. Like people are like,
Yeah.
I am vegan. Like don't even with me because I'm vegan, you know? And it's just like,
Yeah.
bro, why are you even like even like if you are, okay, cool, but like why are you trying to be like so uptight about it? Like,
Hmm.
okay, cool.
Are you
Good for
wearing a
you.
leather belt? Why do you have a leather purse? Why are you wearing leather shoes?
That's actually the other part. Is like they're just saying they're vegan, but like don't actually think about the. And again, back to like I was like Seth was saying, like really anything. Like they're just saying there's something, but not actually doing any actions that like all the action possible to around that belief. You know.
I don't know why this came to my head, and this might be a tangent, but as you were talking about vegan and all that, I for some reason think about Native Americans and how they definitely weren't vegan, but they still had immense respect for the animals that they would consume.
Yeah.
Yes, that is such a cool. See, that's something I think is really cool. Is like if someone goes hunting and they like you know kill the animal and they like pay their respects to it, you know, and all that stuff. I think that's like so cool and just like way more respectful and respectable than like both being a vegan and just going hunting for the sake of hunting, you know,
Yeah.
or even
And
like
I think it's
hunting
like,
boar for like necessity too.
yeah, like, yeah, to protect other parts of the environment.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing is like, it's like the implication that some people have where it's like, oh, you're not vegan. You must hate animals. You must want to kill them and be cruel. And it's like, those aren't, Christians, some Christians have the same thing where it's like, oh, you're not Christian. You must be evil. You must be a dark human being, and it's like, life isn't that.
This is where
Black and
this is
white.
where the
Negative.
morality that Nietzsche talks about comes into play, huh? This is all
Yeah.
that morality.
Yeah. So on the topic of like what he would respect, I don't know. I guess if you were living by faith because you desired it, because you felt it within you that that's where you wanted to go, I guess he would respect it, right? That's what he wants. He's frustrated by the people who clearly don't actually want it and are doing it anyways.
Well, I think that and just also the fact that like you do it, but you aren't like forcing on top of other people, you know, you're
Mhm.
head fast on your belief and then you just follow it, and you're not like, affecting others. Because I think like part of it too is like he sees it as people like using Christianity as like, oh yeah, everyone has to be super moral, or like, I'm against these people. As a result, they like try to bring people down, back again to like the beanstalks thing, right? Where they try to bring people down now based off morality. And because like, oh, you have to be equal to us, you have to be like as we are in like that, right? I think that's also his biggest. I think that's like his biggest issue with Christianity specifically, as well as exactly what you were saying about like just things in general, like people who say they are something but don't actually like are fakes, basically. I extremely think that he would hate those kind of people.
No wonder he hated his sister.
Yeah, bro. Apparently his sister was just a mess of a dum dum. Um,
A mess of a dum dum.
Literally called her too stupid to understand his own books and texts.
yeah. But yeah, so that was all I had for that one because I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's like such an important
Mhm.
thing to do.
I had that
Um,
underlined.
yeah. It kind of takes me to this next part I was going to bring up, which is paragraph 17. To skip ahead here a little bit.
Yes.
I'm just going to read the whole thing.
Hmm.
I literally wrote love this around this. He says, the most spiritual human beings, assuming they are the most courageous, also by experience by far the most painful tragedies. But it is precisely for this reason that they honor life, because it brings against them its most formidable weapons. That just stood out. That
Yeah,
was just so sick to me.
that's
God, like just such a
interesting.
bar. It is interesting. It's a
And
really cool thing.
well, in our translation, it says the most intellectual men. It uses intellectual instead of spiritual, which I think is an interesting
And you know what? I feel
choice.
like I feel like he could be talking about both, you know?
Yes, I agree.
I mean, it
He
is
doesn't
written in
mean these
German,
in
so
like
maybe
the
there was a word
true
for
the
both.
purest sense of like, oh, like your brain power is more powerful. It's more just like you're trying to be in tune with your life. You're paying attention to it. You're caring about it.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
like you as a person.
Yeah.
But isn't this
How do
like
we feel
what?
about that? Is
Yeah,
that do you guys think that's
Something that
true?
yeah,
really
that's what I was gonna
stands
say.
out to me in this right here is the provided they're the most courageous.
Hmm.
So they have to be like spiritual, intellectual, and courageous, which makes
Yeah.
sense because actually, I was gonna bring this point up later. So it'd be a nice little segue at some point. But the thing, like one thing about life is like if you're like a really, in this case, spiritual or intellectual person, and like you are, but you never like do anything about it externally, it's the exact same thing as if you're not, because there's no proof of it. There's like no one's seen this. Like you're not showing it. And so even on the inside, if you are, and this is like his biggest thing, in reality, you're not, because reality has proven that you're not, because you're not in reality. And I think that's a great point you brought up, David. That was a great thing you saw and noticed, because it does take some courage to like actually do actionable items in your life. It's way easier to just do nothing. But as a result, do you guys think that naturally, you know, life's most formidable weapons or result in this person like come as a result of this and make this person a painful tragedy?
I
I
think you can go, David.
I'm just gonna be quick. I think it comes to how y'all were both describing it as somebody who pays really a lot of attention to their life, who puts a lot of value on it, and I mean those who put more value onto it are going to be subject to be able to feel a greater loss. And yeah, that's kind of just what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think trying, I think taking a step forward is what sets you up for tragedy, right? If you're always running from something, you never get a tragedy. It might suck, right? But I think for me, a core element of a tragedy, like something I think that like hurts me a lot. It's like I tried so hard and it still didn't work, you know. Versus like it's really easy to, if there's something I know for a fact I'm not trying my best on, it's really easy to fall back when I fail and go, well, I wasn't even trying, you know, versus like putting my full effort into something, excuse me, falling short. That is so much more painful to me.
You really
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that old saying where it's like, you know, if it didn't hurt whenever it ended, then it was never really love at all, kind of thing, you know?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yeah, it's like you put more emotion into something, more
Put
effort,
more emotion, more effort,
and
exactly.
not only that, in this case right here that Nietzsche's talking about, you have the ability to like outperform as well, and then like it still ends up failing, and it's just so disappointing and so sad and like heartbreaking because you have put all this raw emotion and effort into it. And I think the other thing he's saying too is like if you are more spiritual, you put a lot of work into it. You're now you have to like sacrifice things. You know, it's not just it's not just you put work into it and then like it doesn't happen. It's like you have put work into it and you sacrifice. There's plenty of examples of like businesses where this happens. Like people who take everything to do try to start a business and stuff. There's this one guy. I don't know if I brought him up before on this podcast, but he forgot his name too. Felix Dennis, I think was his name actually. Um, he literally was like living in an apartment with like no electricity, no like couldn't get like any heat or anything like that either with his girlfriend, and she was like begging him to stop like trying to sell magazines and this stuff to like start trying to do his business because like they were literally like poor, and he's like no, like he basically said like no, it's like I know that like the second I get a comfy job, I'm gonna like lose all motivation, like not try to do this anymore. And then so one night, like he had a friend over, and his girlfriend actually ended up like going home with his friend, and then he never talked to either of them again, and that could have turned into such a major tragedy, but it ended up working out for him. He became very successful. But like if it didn't work out for him, that would have been like such a major tragedy. And I'm sure even then, like I think this was the same person, but like he got into like a lot of like drugs and stuff like this, and like I think like almost overdose and stuff too. And so like even if he didn't sacrifice like that stuff at the beginning, by fighting along, he came across these like multiple battles, and as a result, that's also a pretty decent tragedy, because it's hard. I think like formidable weapon stuff like as a result of you trying to do great things, having the courage to do so, you fight a lot of weapons like let's say like a revolutionary, right? Like a leader of a revolutionary,
Hmm.
you're having to fight so much to try to get the thing that you believe in. Um, and it's hard. It's sad. It's always gonna be stressful. It's never gonna be easy. And I think it's the same thing for like a lot of growing businesses as well. To relate to today's world, people trying to get their names out there, people who are trying to who have the courage and the intellectual spiritual capability to like do something, put their mark on the world. But it's not easy. And as a result, you have to sacrifice. You have to get beat down. It's sad. It's a lot.
Reminds me of a quote that goes, "A winner is just a loser who tried one more time."
Yeah, I like that actually, because like you fail multiple times, and then
Yeah.
if like you do lose, you like are and you have this courage to like try harder, like train more, get better,
Mhm.
and you become the winner. It's kind of a
Yeah, I'm gonna
beautiful
take
saying.
I'm gonna take that one with me to the casino.
There's one more turn.
One more. The only
99.
difference between me and a winner is I haven't tried enough.
Every gambler quits right before he wins big, man.
Right before, dude.
Yeah, so just keep on
99% of them,
gambling.
bro.
I
Well,
mean, the next big thing I saw him talking about was the idea of like beautiful and ugly,
Mhm.
or
yeah.
just beauty. Talks about that for quite a bit, and then kind of ties into art for art's sake, which he didn't like that. But what do you guys think about? What do you guys think beauty is? I guess we can start off with. Let's get that defined.
Such a stupid, hard question.
What do you guys think will is? let,
Yeah,
I know,
right.
for
let me
real.
ask that one again.
Beauty seems a little easier to define than will, but it's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And that's like someone literally going, beauty can be anything. And it's like, that's annoying. Okay.
hmm Yeah, like
uh,
like let's grow some backbone. Let's come on, shoot, just
yeah.
shoot, say what you think.
Actually, on that
Yeah.
note, I very much, on the note of will, I think the way that Nietzsche described it a bit earlier was the best way to describe it. And it was the ability to not react to stimulants or something like that. The ability to not do something.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
ability to
that's
not
pretty
like
good.
like react super quick to a stimuli. Yeah.
In regards to beauty, I definitely think it has to invoke a positive emotion.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my first line.
Like on first reaction.
Hmm.
Because,
Some positive something. It has to invoke something within you that's doesn't put you down, it doesn't make you sad. Something that,
Yeah, because I almost believe like a lot of people give like beauty as a physical remark, but obviously there's a lot of things you could consider beautiful emotionally. And even whenever I think something is visually appealing, I still feel like it's something emotionally that affects me rather than something I'm visually seeing that I think is beautiful. You see what I'm saying?
Like it invokes something
that's
inside
a
of you.
great, yeah,
Yeah.
It's more than just a physical aspect.
yeah. And I think that's another thing is like, I think beauty is something that can grow in you. Like there are things that I didn't initially think were beautiful, but as I spent more time with them and got to know them more intimately, I'm being vague because this isn't just people. Like, for instance, in my job, I go to all these factories, right? And first time I go to most of them, I'm like, this is disgusting. This place is nasty. This is awful. But then when I went in towards SpaceX's facility, at the end of the day, it's a factory, but I was like, this is beautiful. All these pipes are properly labeled and they're so clean and they're just very efficient in their routing. And these are all like the space is clean, like there isn't trash everywhere. Like I was like, this is gorgeous. I love to see all of these things working together in this giant orchestra to help produce this object. And that's
I
something that
can't see Connor right now, but headcanon, he's foaming at the mouth out of he's loving it.
and
Yeah,
like I think
me
that
putting together that EMS panel last week. Took a picture of that. I was like, that's fucking beautiful.
so I think I would say that another aspect I would like to add with positive emotion is that beauty requires intimacy, I think. And that's why I think a lot of people, like, I think a lot of people, when they're talking about people and they say, oh, that's a beautiful person, they really mean that's a sexually attractive person. That's what they're saying.
Mhm.
Beauty, I think, is much, you have to, I think you need to be close to the thing before you can say it's beautiful. You need to know more about it. There's
I
something
like that.
about like
Yeah.
the core of it that is beautiful, you know?
Yeah, because like even some people will go to like a beach or something and be like, "What a beautiful beach." I fucking hate the beach. I'll say, "Fuck
Mhm.
this place," you know. And that's a kind of in the same vein. I might go out to the mountains and say, "Wow, these mountains are beautiful." Someone who hates mountains would be like, "I just see fucking mosquitoes and I hate it."
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
I like how you all kind of gave like more abstract answers and like more literal in a sense. Like especially Connor, that like actually segues perfectly into how I was going to describe this, because Nietzsche's whole idea is that beauty is subjective. It's
Mhm.
something that we put upon the world. It's not something that's like real, you know. It's like something that we just kind of, like you said. I mean, like you guys said, like you just call it beautiful. Um,
It's not a
but
property. It's something. It's not an inherent. You're saying it's not an innate property of a thing. It's something that you have to prescribe to the thing.
yeah, and the thing with that too is that it's something that like like we keep on using the word like you know, it's something that the person themselves is putting onto the world. And he describes it as like like anything beautiful someone describes is really just a reflection of that person. Exactly how you said, Connor, about like, you know, you don't like beaches, but someone likes beaches might call it beautiful, but you would never do that. And that's because it's almost a reflection of who you are as a person. You know, it's because this person likes beaches and you don't. That we call that, like you would call that beautiful. Um,
Mhm.
which I think is really cool and interesting because it's like it's almost like you kind of get to like have some kind of inkling in someone's mind if you're ever around them and they get called something beautiful because it's like, oh, so you're the kind of person who would like call this beauty, like this kind of gives me more information about you. I like how Seth is saying where it's like, you know, if you call someone like a woman beautiful or even a man, that you're what you really mean is that you're sexually attracted, but because you call them beautiful, it's almost like seems like you as a person are like a little bit more shallow, right?
Hmm.
Because you don't like think about it that deep, or you don't go into meaning like that and stuff like that. You know, you don't really think about trying to find pure beauty. Um, and even with me, like Seth gave a perfect example about like the factory. You know, for me, I can like look at certain code and I'm like, bro,
Hmm.
this code is beautiful. And I can look at other code like, bro, this code is like disgusting. And like I can know that because of who I am as a person, my experience. And you know, it's very interesting how much insight you can kind of get from someone when they can like appreciate something or like put beauty on it, you know?
a, a great example of this to me is Number File. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of their videos, but they genuinely see like math as beautiful. And there are so many things that they like bring up and they're just so excited and then like this is the coolest, and I'm just like this is just a property of numbers. Like it's interesting. But these people like live for it. They're mathematicians. It's like what you said with the coding example, Howie. It's like you could see some code and think it's beautiful. You could see some code and think it's ugly. And a lot of people would look at both and not even know the difference.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really get to ascribe it until you fully understand because it's I don't know. Harmony is another one that I think is a big part of it, but I think that might be a more personal thing. I don't know if that's abstract enough, but I think
Reading
for
about
me beauty
harmony,
is like it works together well. Like it brings things around it.
like
So
a
when I think of like a
symphony,
yeah, so like when I think of beautiful nature views that I've had, it all comes together to create this. Oh God, what word am I looking for?
portrait, landscape.
This portrait. I was trying to stay away from like painting words. Scene is
Okay,
another
okay.
one, but like I'm trying to not use an art word for it. But that's the closest I can get. Is it like it creates this like moment that it feels like it all works together to me. And that's like when I see the beauty of the factory or when I see the beauty of a good like video game design or like for me it's like it's about this interconnectedness
And
and it not and that object is one with the area around it and not like, you know, against it.
so would you say,
Yeah,
Seth,
man.
you are a very orderly person? Like you like to be organized, you like everything like looking clean. You see a messy room and you're like, oh man, like this got to be clean.
100%. I mean, today I woke up, I was like I went to karaoke. I was a little hungover this morning, I'm not gonna lie. And so I didn't make my bed. And then I came back from lunch and I was like, this is pissing me off. I didn't want to put
Never make that fucker.
it. But I just like I went and made it at like 2 p.m. because it was bothering me that I didn't make it earlier. Like I didn't like looking at it and seeing it. that way. So yeah, I think I am a little obsessive about that.
But like, isn't that interesting though? How like this aspect of yourself turns into your vision of what beauty is, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's what's the interesting part is how that like naturally happens, and how wrong it would be to say that someone's beauty is like incorrect or something like that, you know? And I think and
Hmm.
I don't think this is like the point that Nietzsche's coming to, but and just kind of what I'm taking from it. But like he
Something
says,
that
yeah, go for it.
I was just going to read the very beginning of 20.
That's actually what I was gonna read. So yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
perfect.
Okay, that's like I've been harping on specifically this entire conversation, and let me read it. Nothing is beautiful except man. All aesthetics rest on the naivety. It is their first truth. And then he says, let us straight away add the second. Nothing is ugly except the generating man. Um, I don't know. That kind of throws a curveball into my idea of what Nietzsche is essentially trying to say, or it throws a curveball into my understanding of what Nietzsche is trying to say.
Yeah, we have to remember he's almost crazy here. Um,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
like, what were you gonna say, Seth? Yeah,
he also says, like, right after that, he says the domain of aesthetic judgment is thereby limited. Like, he's saying with this idea, our descriptions of beauty and ugly are constrained, which might mean he's admitting that this definition isn't enough to encompass, you know?
yeah. I mean, like he says before. I mean, he says nothing is beautiful, and he also says before, like on like the bottom 19 says, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing, to guarantee to us that man constitutes the model for the beautiful. Who knows what figure he would cut into the eyes of a higher arbiter of taste? You know, like he's saying, like man doesn't even have the true right. Like who decided that like we know are good enough or smart enough to actually decide what beautiful is? You know, and I think that's why he's saying that nothing is beautiful, only man. Because what he's saying is like there's nothing that's beautiful since it's all subjective. Man's the one who makes a beauty. Therefore, man must be the one who's beautiful, since they are the ones who are deciding what's beautiful. If that kind of means, if that makes sense. Um, which I think is kind of his opinion about like this is like him saying what he thinks beauty is, right? Kind of like how we all mentioned before. I mean, this is his field, the degenerate man, and so to him, beauty is anything except
Mhm.
the degenerate man, right? That's like the only thing that's ugly. And that's what he really harps on, you know, Socrates, how Socrates was so ugly, right? You guys remember how Socrates was just like hideously
Oh,
ugly?
he thinks that he.
um,
Oh,
and
oh.
so to him, he like uses that as a measure, like an ugly thing that like determines the degeneracy of it. Um, like he literally says, the ugly is understood as a sign and symptom of degeneration. That which recalls degeneration, however remotely, produces in us the judgment ugly. Every token of exhaustion, of heaviness, of age, of weariness, every kind of unfreedom, whether convulsive or paralytic, above all the smell, color, and shape of dissolution, of decomposition, though it be attenuated to the point of being no more than a symbol. All this calls forth the same reaction, the value judgment ugly. And so this literally, as I was reading that, made me think of this, but like to him, right? Like nothing is beautiful, and nothing is ugly, except unless it revolves around man. And it's very interesting because it's like you kind of back to the mountain and beach example. You know, I might not like beaches or something like that, but I'm not saying like this beach is ugly, you know. I don't know. Maybe you disagree, Kyle. Maybe that's not how you feel. Like I'm like me personally, I'm not gonna say like, oh, this speech is ugly. And I think to
Seeps
him, but I think to him, it's like ugliness really truly is a degenerate man, and because they put onto the world this aura of just nastiness. Um, which I don't know if that's like even something like is that something that's like a feeling? Like how do you even like measure something like that? I don't know. I didn't fully understand his whole ugly. I mean, like I think it's very clear how much he despises the degenerate man. Which I don't necessarily agree with, but I don't know. It's very interesting to me how like much he harps on this ugliness.
I really,
I've learned,
you can go for it.
I was just gonna say, if I've learned anything about Nietzsche, all his words mean something, and they mean exactly that. Like he's very careful, and
Yeah,
I feel like multiple times through this book, he said something like you going like, "Oh, they think of the Socrates thing," and it's like I didn't even realize that's what he meant when he said that, and now here I am finally understanding what he means by ugly, and it changes how I look at that passage, which I think is kind of interesting, but also exhausting to keep up with sometimes.
No, I was. It is because I was genuinely about to ask. Can you please explain your thought process on Socrates? Because that was so
yeah.
long ago to me.
I mean, like you said, Seth, he chooses words carefully, and he doesn't just call someone like I mean, I think he literally called Socrates both ugly and a degenerate. When to him,
Yeah.
it's like the same thing, right? I think ugliness is a symptom of degeneracy, is what he's saying.
Yes.
Um,
And it's so interesting because I think at first we're like, oh wow, he's really owning him. He's calling him ugly and degenerate. And now that we're here, we're like, oh, he means this is what Nietzsche means when he says degenerate. Because now he's used this word like throughout the book, and we kind of have an idea of like he's trying to communicate this idea, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
So
And so to him, right, he was giving this whole passage on Socrates and how much he hates dialectics and how this affects society. And to him, this affects society in a negative manner. It produces like exhaustion and weariness on people with regards to life and reality. You know, that was like his whole like kind of argument against Socrates. And when he says ugly and degenerate, and he's basically saying like Socrates was ugly, and it's because he was a degenerate and like bring about all this nastiness and these nasty feelings and thought processes into reality, into the world. And that's how we could, and that like, because it's almost like he's ugly and he does this, but he's basically
mhm,
saying like he is ugly because he does this. It's like if like I mean like I'm looking at Socrates and I'm like, yeah, bro, this guy's ugly. So of course he's a degenerate as well.
mhm,
It's kind of his whole spiel is like Socrates gave negatives. Like to him, Socrates gave negatives. Like again, the negative thought process is all this stuff. And to him, that's like such an ugly thing that like why would like a man do this? A person do this. This is hideous.
Wasn't he talking something? Because I remember there being kind of a switch up between his passage in Socrates about talking about all the negatives and then maybe the positives. I don't know if the positives were how the rich were so infatuated by his words. Was that it?
I don't remember too much about positives. I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember positives for Socrates.
There's been like a couple of things he's talking about throughout where it's like he speaks of it in a negative term and then says like one nice thing about it, maybe. Like I think he's like I think he said something nice about when we were talking about the architect with the like inability to resist stimuli. Um, but I don't remember too much about Socrates. I think he really just absolutely despises. I think this guy literally, if he deems something decadent and therefore ugly, he like full on hates it. Like he despises it so much.
mhm.
Man, he would really have hated what his words turned into after he died
Yeah, I
or after
know.
getting crazy.
He would have been so angry.
Speaking of his hatred for dialectics, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit
Mhm.
to 26. I also want to talk about 25 too, but 26 is a nicer segue.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll just read the whole thing. He says, we no longer estimate ourselves sufficiently when we communicate ourselves. Our true experiences are not at all loquacious. They cannot communicate themselves even if they wished. The reason is that they have not language. We have already got beyond what we can express in words. In all speaking, there is an inkling of contempt. Language, it seems, has only been invented for the average, the middling, and the communicative. With speech, the speaker has already vulgarized himself, extract from morals for deaf mutes and other philosophers. I think this is an idea that he's like been touching on about like the limitations of language. Um, and this is something that was like interesting to read as someone who like regularly expresses himself, like likes talking about how he feels and the experiences he has, and sometimes regularly runs into this phenomenon where I feel like I'll express something about how I feel, and the person will just take it in a completely different direction than I was intending. And at first, I think for a while I was like, oh, well, it's just, I didn't communicate it effectively enough. Like I could have done something better to like get this idea across. And there's obviously room for improvement always, but I think he kind of touched on this point that I didn't think about. And it's like maybe it is impossible for me to express my experiences to other people because they can't be expressed. They can only be experienced, you know? Um,
Yeah.
And I guess I was wondering if you guys had any similar experiences or how you feel about this idea of that we can't estimate ourselves with speech.
I want these
And
to
I
go
think
first because I'm gonna take us in a different direction.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've always had kind of the same issue with language. Um, like with X's and stuff. I would Okay, this is gonna be kind of embarrassing, but whatever. Um,
I
I
can
I
card if
am
you.
Let it
I am
rip.
wholeheartedly a hopeless romantic at heart. I don't
Hmm.
really express a lot outwardly. Um, like with like love towards other people. I've tried to change that in recent years, but like in the past I wasn't. But I would like write poetry and shit about
Oh,
exes or current girlfriends. And yeah, it would always end with me just like there would always be a line in there that was like words are we have not evolved enough as humans to like express or language is not evolved enough to express how I feel about you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's yeah, when I read
Well,
26, that one sat with me.
yeah, maybe you'll
yeah.
feel a little less embarrassed knowing that this guy, you know, was literally thought his whole life and he came to a very similar conclusion. So it's not a silly idea for you to
Yeah,
express.
maybe it's the poetry part.
Hey, that's something that's cool, Connor. It's a nice little
Yeah,
quirk.
dude. That's awesome. It's cool. Making art is cool.
Yeah. Don't let
Making
anyone make
art
you
is
feel bad
way
about writing
cooler.
poetry.
Yeah, making
Yes.
art is way cooler than not making art.
work out that
100%.
that work out that artistic side of your brain.
They're just
Yeah, it's
jealous
pretty
and
fun.
upset that they don't do the same thing.
I've fallen
Yeah, I
off
make
in
rap
recent
songs
years. I'm
instead.
sorry.
Hey, art can be many different things. Art can be how well organized an EMS system is.
Dude,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to send you guys a picture of the finished panel because it is beautiful.
Oh man, I was
All right, I'm gonna
eating
have to
up
see it
those
then.
videos you sent to the group chat, Connor,
Dude,
where
oh
you
my
were
god.
like
And
cleaning the fuzz off that thing. Oh
dude,
my
yes,
god.
off those coils, dude. That was the other thing. Oh my god. Like going to that side, I was like, man, these coils are bad. They're ugly. Clean them. Damn. Them coils are beautiful.
That's kind of
Yeah,
shallow, if you ask me. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
it's a little
know.
that's just
shallow.
my.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit shallow, but for
There's
AC
beauty
systems,
within the coils,
that's
Connor.
that's productive. That's actually a good mentality to have in AC. Okay.
It's like one of those people who are just doom scrolling on like the videos of like the oddly satisfying videos, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
it had the same exact, but like those pressure washing videos. That's how it felt.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was actually extra satisfying that you sent the one of you scraping it off, but there were still like little bits and pieces, and then you followed up with the video of you spraying it all like perfectly clean. That was awesome. I appreciated that content.
Anyways,
If you
David.
want to check out our exclusive Patreon.
Where Connor will post vlogs from his
Just all
job.
these satisfying videos.
I actually used to send like YouTube tutorials to David and Matt when I
Oh
was
my
at
gosh,
That's
work.
that's
awesome.
so funny.
I'll see. I'll definitely download them and resend them over here to the group chat at some point.
Yeah, I need to see this now.
They were.
Yeah.
I don't know why he stopped. He could have gone famous on YouTube, but whatever.
You still have the opportunity, Connor. Just TikTok now.
Yeah, just put your art out there, bro.
David, have you had any issues with language?
Uh, I definitely have. I can't say that there's a single moment that particularly stands out to me, but I know there have been moments, especially in previous relationships. That's just how it goes, right? Um,
Mhm.
but you know what? That leaves me kind of frustrated.
Why?
Yeah.
That leaves me kind of frustrated knowing that my language cannot ever truly be enough to invoke the exact same emotion to somebody else that I am currently having, or that I had in that particular moment.
I agree with that. It's 100% frustrating to not be able to like communicate what you're
Mhm.
like what you want to communicate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just natural. It's a natural like, emotion to feel, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
like causes misunderstandings and stuff too, and it's like just like annoying to deal with.
I'd be a shell of a human if I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think the flip side of that is like that frustration is what leads to those moments where you truly connect with someone. It makes them so like special. Like the classic one is like when something happens and you and someone else in the room immediately look at each other. You could have looked at anyone else in the room, but you both chose each other because you knew that person is thinking the exact same thing you are, and there's no words, there's no nothing. It's just a look.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
those moments are
so true.
amazing. Those are awesome. But
It's
those
actually
only exist
so
because
true.
it's like you're like, we're not constrained by the words. We get it. We understand each other in this moment, you
And
know?
we both saw what that was, what just happened. We both had the
Hmm.
exact same thought. Like we both knew
Hmm.
exactly what's going on there.
It's not even just having the same thought, it's knowing that the other person also has the same
Yeah,
thought and sharing that with them is pretty awesome, I think.
yeah. Like
You
Connor and I
know,
going to the Denver Botanic Gardens, you know.
you know something. You know something, boys. This is kind of making me think right now. Something about
Hope so.
Yeah.
God. No, what I was gonna say. uh, Something that I'm coming to really realize myself is that there's a whole layer of communication that I think general public is so oblivious to. Maybe subconsciously they read it, but oblivious to actually consciously notice it, and that's body language.
Hmm.
And I say that because at first I was thinking about just the mere fact that animals communicate with no language. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
this is this is something that I have become a little bit more conscious about, and especially in the recent like 6 days that I got this parrot, because that's all it communicates in. And weird tangent, but even though it squawks and all that, the main form of communication is the way it reacts to certain things with its body. I mean, that's how you're going to read any animal and every animal, right?
Hmm.
But generally, it's not something that I ever think about. It's like putting the weird, trying to get women thing aside, because there's always like, oh, read the body language. That yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't
Put
want to
that
go down
aside.
that.
I want
Let's
to
not go down
Yeah,
that.
let's keep it like to like actual things that
Stick
help
to
people.
animals.
Like let's keep it to
yes.
like real things.
I want to
First, you have to
specifically
give
call it and put that
alpha.
aside because that's like a weird. I'd say
Oh,
the,
God.
the degenerating aspect
Yeah.
of but it's something that I don't ever find myself constantly thinking about consciously. Maybe, like I said, maybe subconsciously, but that's just a whole nother layer of communication because there really is more communication than just language. There's so much more.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Do
I'm
you,
happy you said that because there he says speech, it seems it's divides only for the average, medium, communicable. Like people who like are like average like general population, like you said, cannot pick up on like body language, for example. The only way they can
Mhm.
really communicate or try to is through speech because they can't like understand things. Like the average person can't understand things, so they have to use speech. And it's the same thing with experiences, in my opinion, on how high level people like how high level people can like we said see something and fully understand it and like we both get it, but like to the average person they might not understand it, and like it's not something that like you pick up on and you can just say it and like explain it. It's something you just have to like understand, you know. It's something you just have to experience and get. And like some things too is like, I guarantee you, so like someone like Elon Musk or that guy Felix Dennis, who went through these like crazy trials and tribulations with their businesses, would probably see something and do things and understand it a lot more than like I would, just because they've like gone through these experiences I have not gone through. And as a result, I cannot fully understand certain things they might say or see or do, you know?
well, it's in that realm of like your experiences kind of informing your ability to communicate things outside of the bounds of language. Do you think that people who own animals are more likely to innately understand body language than people who have never had to deal with like pet ownership?
Makes
No,
sense to me, really. Okay, I want to hear.
I say no because I'm going to say the same thing, but you'll understand. There's a difference between owning an animal
Yeah, that's
and
true.
owning an animal.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Having a
Okay.
yeah.
bud and having an animal,
Yeah.
having a family member and having a dog.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a big difference. I think you might be more likely to have that innate aspect, but it is definitely not a certainty.
True,
Mhm.
because you could just like kind of like just having a dog and like you're not actually like trying to care for the animal. Like, you're doing the bare minimum, and as a
But
result,
really
you're
trying
not
to
picking up on it.
understand it in its own communicative way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me flip it around. Do you think people who are better at understanding body language are more likely to care for their pet?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so. I very much
So
Yeah.
it's the
think
other way around.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Because
confusing
because
the
if you
cause and effect, guys. Come on, let's
yeah.
we just
Oh
learned about
no!
this.
No! No!
Got caught, Seth.
You did get caught.
The four great errors.
You fell for it. I mean, no,
Do you
yeah,
think
for
that's something that
sure.
people innately have?
Like the ability to understand
Because
body
I
language.
think it's definitely innate. Some people are better at it than other people, for sure.
I think it can come with experience. I think you can like grow to
Yes.
either understand body language and through experience. I think like for example, like from like a relationship standpoint, like let's say you like you did something to upset your significant other, but like let's just say you're dumb enough to like they're not saying they're angry or anything, and you just take it as face value instead of like trying to even like read it body language and stuff, and then as a result they get more angry or something because you're not trying to like be nice or fix it or like
Yeah.
make up for it. And I think that like as a result, I mean you either don't learn from it and just gets worse, or you learn from that experience and then now you are better, like a little bit better now at picking up body language.
hmm Dude, I dude, oh my gosh. This is embarrassing for me. This is making me realize one of my like bad traits when I was a wee lad. It was like I could tell my partner when I was younger, I could tell my partner was upset, but they would say they were fine. And I'd go, well, if they said they're fine, then they're fine. Like I knew they weren't But I was like, if they're not gonna tell me, then I can't do anything about it. And like
The classic.
that's very immature. And with this way of thinking that we're talking about right now, they were telling me. They might have not been using their words, but they were communicating it. I do think that's a slippery slope though. Like maybe like words should be kind of like your not your last resort, but if they're clearly not catching the hint from all the other ways you're communicating, you should probably use your word
Yeah, I kind of think
to
that
get it
too.
across the finish line.
Like, I don't think you should just leave it as is if they like aren't picking up on like, because like yeah, words I feel like are like the last line of defense where it's like the most obvious way you can try to communicate something.
That's so weird
Yeah.
because I would say they're the first line and then they're also the last line. Are they not?
Yeah,
It
well,
can be
so
the
it
first line.
depends, right?
Well,
I
what's the
think
first
it's
thing we
like
told when we're kids? You know, like when they're
use
like,
your
use your.
words.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
spitting,
Dude,
Connor.
that's oh my gosh. Yo, wait a
Spitting.
You
second.
picking up what I'm putting down?
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Wait, hold. Because guys, what if we never invented language? Like we
We
had
just
to
got
have
rid
been
of it.
taught, we had to have been taught and learned to get language. This was like I mean
Mhm.
like we've talked about this before how it's like human created. But guys, we literally invented this. It's not something that we were like born with and naturally had.
Yeah, it's a tool.
Connor, I
Well,
see what you're saying,
what do
dude.
you
That
what do you
was oh
say?
my
What do
goodness.
you say? It's for like the mini. I can't remember the exact word he used.
The
Uh,
average.
the average,
Yeah, the middling.
the middling.
The middling sounds like a derogatory in parentheses.
Ugg and Thug knew each other a lot better than I feel like I know a lot of other people right now. You know?
I think, oh man, on the topic of like first line of defense, last line of defense, it's like I think when you use your when you use your words to communicate with something, you are less likely to connect the experience, right? Because like I said, it's like we talk about that moment where you look at your friend and you guys have the same thought. If you didn't look at them and instead go, "Oh, Connor, are you thinking about this?" It's like, okay, yeah, you got me. We're thinking about the same thing, but it
But
just
now it's
doesn't
ruined.
feel as good.
Yeah, it's
You
ruined.
know, I don't feel like I got closer to you in that moment. We just like acknowledged it, right? And I
Yeah.
think you definitely can get closer to somebody with words, but I think it's the this was another thing that I had to learn was like your actions like are really important and sometimes you got to do stuff like when somebody does something for you and you don't even ask, that feels way better. And it's not because I think originally I thought it's because it's like a princess, like, you know, hot princess is not a great word. Let me take that back.
Redo that.
Yeah, that was a little pointed. It's like a Hollywood kind of like movie moment romance thing, right? Where it's like, oh, they just get me, you know, which is kind of unrealistic. But I think it's more like I didn't need to use my words because they got it. They knew what I needed, you know,
They
because they
understood.
they want to connect with me on that level. It is a little unrealistic, and if your needs aren't being met, you got to say something. But there is something to be said about like choosing to do something, actions, and not just like actions as in doing something for somebody, but like body language, like physical reactions, and how that can help communicate an experience to someone in a much stronger way than words can.
Yeah, but, I mean, well, the feeling of like fully actually understanding someone is like, I mean, we've already talked about it, is like outstanding, and to know that someone actually fully
Mhm.
understands, like not fully understands you, but like understands you and like understands like you had like you guys are thinking the same thing. It's like you have the connection, you know. That's exactly what you want with a relationship. Is like you want a connection,
Mhm.
and so now it feels even more like you have that connection, right?
Okay, so
Like
speak. Oh, I'll let you finish.
I was
That
just
might
say
have
it's like
segue.
how when Connor mentioned like teaching the baby and we had that connection right then and there, dude. Freaking chum munchers.
Just say movie.
Connor, I wish I could I wish I had the words to describe that idea, but I just don't.
You just got
Anyways,
it. You
I
got it.
I
I didn't have
did.
the words to say it. You just
I
understood.
don't have the words either, but I got you,
And
man.
I will say maybe Seth and David didn't get it, but I have a feeling that our audience members, our subscribers, did get it.
Yeah, because if they're following,
They're
even
like,
listening to
oh
us,
wait.
then I'm sure they can pick up on what
Mm-hmm.
we're saying.
All our
Yeah.
subscribers are not chum munchers, bro.
No, I know
You
they're
can't.
not.
There are some.
I think they
We
are.
need a fun name. We don't have a fun name for our side.
Yeah, let's start. Maybe it should be a
Yeah, that
Are
must
chum.
be
you
tough. Yeah,
are you really
you guys can be
saying
chums if you
chum
want.
munchers is like I don't put that
Hey,
super high on that.
wait,
It's a fun name. I didn't say it was a
we
good one. It was fun
what do you
though.
mean? We're the chum munchers. You guys are the crabby ones. Right there.
The
Yeah, you guys are
crabby
the crabs.
ones.
You guys are
The
the crabs.
crabby
You guys are the
ones.
crabs.
I hate
Crabbies and
that.
chums.
You guys are crabbies. We're chums. Crabbies versus
Yeah.
chums.
That's crazy. Wow. Well,
Dude,
speaking of crabbies, uh, I want to talk about 25 as well,
Okay.
because I thought it was kind of interesting. I promise there's a segue here. And here Nietzsche says, to put up with men, to keep open house with one's heart, that is liberal, but it is merely liberal. We recognize the hearts which are capable of noble hospitality
Mm.
by the many curtained windows and closed shutters. They keep their best rooms vacant. Why is that? Because they expect guests with whom they have not to put up. So if you got a little crabby guy, you can welcome him in, okay? But
don't
is
feed into
your
that.
hospitality noble or are your doors just open? How do we feel about this idea of noble hospitality?
Yeah, actually, I really like this idea because it's it's a little hardcore, you know. It's basically
Yeah.
saying that you really only open up to the people who deserve it, which I guess isn't that hardcore, but you're not just trying to preach to everyone, you know. You're really just trying to let people in who you deem worthy in a sense, you know, which is a little messed up, but hey, we're all about not being equal here, right? With this book. Um,
I don't
so
want to say that's our tagline.
I can't say that. These damn chum munchers, bro.
but
Yeah, I would like to say, I wouldn't let just any crabbies in my group, okay?
that's exactly, you know,
I hate that it's
you have to
already
you have to be
sticking.
very picky about who you're letting in. And so, and like
That's
on
funny.
a on a real note, it is. I think it's important to do such because you might start trying to preach to everyone, and there'll be those who clearly won't get it because experience. They don't have the same experience or the same understanding, and that could actually even bite you in the butt because people can misunderstand you, and as a result, even like be against you in a sense or you know
Mhm.
target you or it can end in poor results if you
Yeah,
try to say to the wrong people.
it's almost like you could read this and you could open your proverbial doors open to one large dominating ethnicity and then shut out other smaller minority ethnicities
Hmm.
and
Mm.
do some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can see where I could see the lines you're drawing there.
I can
Yeah,
see how one might use this logic
misconstrued.
for yeah for
For
incorrect
nefarious
reasonings.
purposes.
Yes, but that's not what we're here to do, Connor.
No, no, we're not.
I
we
think
are we're
I think
here
it's
to
a
say go for it, dude.
personally I think that's a misunderstanding.
I think that's quite the
Yeah,
misunderstanding. Yes.
I might have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Howard. I think I might have let the crabby mentality kind of
Connor.
come into my chum brain for a
Yeah, Connor.
second. All right, that's the
I
last
felt our
time I'll say it.
disconnect, man. The line was
Yeah,
disconnected. We gotta bring
yeah.
that back.
We gotta reel it back in. You
Yeah.
you got it.
But I think it's more so about like, why try to give what you're trying to say to everyone if not everyone's gonna understand it. Um, and so in a sense, like you really should just try to like you save it for the best guests, the ones who are able to understand what you're saying, the ones who you can relate to, you can talk to about, they understand you. Um, I think that's what this is saying. Like I think like almost like I think Buddhism is a good comparison. It's like I remember hearing about this idea once where it's like if someone is saying something, like preaching something, everyone might be able to take in the words, but that doesn't mean they take the idea. It doesn't mean they take the preaching and it doesn't transfer. Um, it only happens for select few in those cases. And I think that's what this he's trying to say that this is how it should be is like you try to save it for those select few who are able to actually take in the idea and have it transfer, which I
Yeah,
like. I
and
think it's a good idea.
I'd even go as far to argue this because like I like to surround myself. I I like to surround myself with differing opinions because I think it makes me a more rounded individual, right? That being said, of course, there's also the part of me that is a human, and I like to surround myself with people that are like me too, you know. But it is important to have those differing, perspectives. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with, being so grounded in your faith that you're open to skepticism. Um, but so long as, and this is where it goes back to this, where it has to be a certain type of people that are willing to have their perspective changed. Like I'm willing to have my perspective changed. If you're just gonna entrench yourself in specific topics, then that's an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I don't think that this allows people like that. I think what I'm trying to also say, like that's a good point you bring up because it allows me to define this even more. Is you can still the idea is you bring in people who like understand the idea, not necessarily people who have the same opinion with you about the idea. Like kind of like how I mentioned, like you can have a conversation with this person about it. Um, and so like they might they get it, they get what you're trying to say, and they've also thought about it too, probably, but they might have like a differing opinion. Now you get to like talk about it too,
Right.
and that's the cool part, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I can this because that's why I brought up the whole what was misconstrued with this statement in the past
Mm, I
uh,
see. Yeah.
was you don't look at it as separating one group from another. You look at it from separating the people that aren't willing to get the idea. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
No, I mean, I do. And I think, like, for example, like the conversations we have, there's people I know that I would not have these conversations with, you know, just because it wouldn't, like, one, they might not even, like, talk about
They
it or, like,
wouldn't
care
put
to talk
mind
about
to it.
it. Yeah. And two, like, they could take it from, like, another standpoint, like, misconstrued, the things you're trying to say and be like we talk about, like, we got bad consequences because people are, like, might target you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which sucks.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I think a different aspect of this resonated with me as someone who chronically struggles with having too many people in their lives, as we've mentioned.
We've talked about this, yeah.
Um, I know, and I think this is kind of like put it in a way that I think might have actually finally gotten through to me. But it's the part about they keep their best rooms vacant. I think the house metaphor is really cool because it's like I think about my apartment. Okay, my apartment's not very big. I want to invite people over. I can't invite everybody I know. I just can't. There's not enough room. It's uncomfortable. Nobody's happy that they're having to share this space with all these people because it's not enough space for them to share. And the house in my mind only has so much room too. And by filling my time and my mental home with people who I have to quote unquote put up with, I'm pushing out people who I don't. I'm not leaving my rooms open for the people who really care about me, really are there for me, people who are, it's easy for me to enjoy their company, you know. Um, and it forces me to do things like start a weekly book club that has an upload schedule so that I'm forced to spend time with the people I care about and enjoy talking to, you know. And so I think the kind of way I've said it is right now, I think that I'm letting everybody into my living room, and there are some people in the select few people get into my bedroom. But I think the group of people that get into my bedroom needs to be a lot more, needs to be a lot smaller. And most of the people that I interact with need to stay in the lobby, you know, and the lobby can be open to anybody. Let's let everybody in the lobby. Like, don't turn people out at the door, you know, spend time with them there. But before letting someone into your living room, the space where you're like actually spending most of your time, like, is there, is it going to keep you from having room for the people who deserve to be there, you know? Um, and I think the biggest thing is like on top of this is like, who are the great people in my life who I will never have the chance of knowing how close of a friendship we could have, the special bond we could have, because I don't have room to let them in. Like, honestly, David's a great example of this. When I first met David, we did not spend that much time together. Every time we spent together was awesome. It was fun. It was a great time. But I
I
wouldn't
enjoyed
say he
meeting
was like a
all your friends at the first time I came to your house.
yeah, and then I invited him into my living room, and there were like 20 people in there just hanging out. Like that's just how my house was, and it was probably pretty overwhelming. And I don't think he came back that many times, you know. And I don't blame him. There are a lot of people that were hanging out in that living room that I'm not cool with anymore, you know.
Yeah, gotta
Um,
be careful about who you invite into your
yeah,
bedroom and living room and stuff, you know.
yeah.
And
And
speaking of which,
but
I like
then
to think I'm one of those that's allowed in your bedroom.
Connor wants first priority in there.
Connor wants to be in that bedroom.
Oh, dude, what's that bedroom access?
You guys are all in my
So,
bedroom
Wait, that's yeah.
Awesome.
for
aw.
sure,
Sweet. True. Very
I
true,
can I
for
actually.
sure.
can I can guarantee this small group is in the bedroom. Um, I really like how that example that you just said, Seth,
Yeah, it was a
became
really
so
good
physical
metaphor.
too, because there was
Yeah.
there's an actual physical aspect to that of letting someone into the room, but then there really were there was actually so many people in that
Yeah.
room.
Yeah. There was a ton of people in there. Too many for you to like actually hang out with me. Like, I don't even think we really talked much
No,
while
we
you were
ended.
there
I don't think we really did.
because I'm too busy talking with everybody else, you know. And then we became really, really good friends when you did get into my living room and you lived there and we actually got to like spend time together, you know, like, or I guess a better example was that we were both allowed in each other's bedrooms. That's funny. But it's like, but you get what I'm saying. Like it's, I think that our friendship really took a leap, not only because there was like physical proximity, but because I also cleared out room to let you into my life. If I would have done that, I would not, this probably would not even be happening right now, you know. And
I
so,
don't think. Yeah, no, I.
There's no, I never would have met my
so
fellow
how,
chum
so,
luncher.
so true,
It's
so
Yeah,
kind of
true.
crazy, isn't it? You know what's
And so
also
I think
crazy?
that
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say that's the thing that I think is really gonna get me and like make me want to be more careful about this is like I need to have room to expect new guests, to let new people in who could really affect my life, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, as you're saying, Howie.
for me, I kind of have similar stuff. Like first half of my college, I think I had like too many friends, and I was actually like, I think I was like pretty depressed. Um, and then eventually it turned into I cut off most of them except like a few. And one of those few turned out to introduce me to someone else who there's still room in the bedroom, and I got to know this person, and they became a really good friend as well. Which then, as a result, that person is now my brother-in-law, and I met my wife through that person. And so
Yeah.
by getting to make sure I'm choosing the right people to spend my time with and be friends with, and be in my bedroom, it allowed me to it allowed me an even greater chance of like find more people I could connect with, and you know my wife, now like people like I can love and stuff like that, just by limiting it, to the correct people. And I think it is pretty beneficial to do that.
Hard though.
Yeah,
It's
and I
very
mean sometimes
interesting.
you guys
I
sometimes you just
gotta
gotta cut
say,
people off.
I think
Yeah.
I'm I think I'm a bit opposite in that manner. I don't think I've ever had
Yeah.
too many friends, even throughout my entire college
Yeah.
years.
I was gonna say, I
I
feel
mean,
like
it's
I said
fair.
it's hard, but it's probably hard for me. It might not be hard for some other people, but it's very difficult for me.
I
'Cause-
have like 6 friends. Like 3 of them are here.
Let's go. I'm one of the six. Let's go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Awesome.
well, Seth,
Yeah.
you're too nice.
It's true.
I've had a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people in
That's
my
all right.
lobby. I've had a lot of lobby
yeah.
people
Yeah, I've had
because
people like come and go
yeah,
a
for
lot.
me personally, I've had a multitude of lobby people because I don't think there's ever been there haven't really been very many people who have ever had any gripe with or any sort of anything. And I'd like to think I get along pretty well with just about anyone. Which I mean,
See, that's the thing
I
is
think
like,
everyone, most people can would want to say that. I don't know. That's definitely not that special. But yeah, no, I've had a
I don't
lot of
know. I
lobby
think it
people.
is.
You're special to me, David.
I
Of
know a lot of, yeah.
Thanks, Ellie.
Yeah.
course.
I also think, okay, you said I'm too nice, but like David's way nicer than I am, and he doesn't struggle with this problem at all. Like, I don't think it's about being nice. It's about boundaries. David's better setting
Yeah,
boundaries than I
that's
am.
that's what I
That's
mean by
really what
too
it is.
nice.
Yes.
Don't put the boundaries.
But and I think in my head there's like that seems like a mean thing to do. Like I always envision it being like, it's like I'm standing at the lobby door going, "Ha ha, you can't go in here. Like you're not allowed in here. You got to stay in the lobby." But like they don't need to know there's a room beyond the lobby. For all they know, the lobby's the living room. It's just about like,
Yeah.
David, you're an inspiration for me out on how to
Every time you say things
be
like that,
nice.
every time you say things like that, Seth, I want you to know how much of an honor it is for you to consider me an inspiration in and of itself.
Well, thank you.
Guys, this
I
is
think
getting
Seth has said
real.
something similar to me like that before. I'm like, man, it really does hit.
Coming from that crabby over there, yeah, it really does hit.
Yeah. I guess not all Krabbies are bad.
Man, guys, the amount of biscuits that are being buttered right now, we should open a bakery, man. This is really sweet. I like this.
See, we're
This
bringing
is
out that
very sweet.
positivity into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is that beautiful aspect of man that Nietzsche was talking about.
Exactly.
true. I'm
And you
just
know
I'm
what?
just
There's at
appreciating.
least 3 beautiful men in this chat, in my opinion.
I would say there's at least
Wow.
four.
I was gonna say who's not
Yeah,
beautiful.
Connor, who do you think? Wait, actually, no, Connor, who do you think is not beautiful?
Me? Well, actually,
I
there is
knew he was
4
gonna say
Davies.
I know,
himself.
I knew you just said that too,
He
but
always
Yeah,
says
yeah.
himself. I literally, he was talking down about past Connor in the car, and I told Connor, what were we talking about in book club?
Connor's a little bitch.
no, not
No, he's
See,
not.
not
see,
that
see.
one.
No, he's not.
Connor, I want you to know this. I think you are a very good-looking individual,
There you go.
just
Well, no, no, no,
in
no.
a pure,
Not
honest
not
sense.
physically. We were talking earlier, Howie. It's not about physically, Howie.
Right. Sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm too shallow. You're right. I'm too shallow.
Other cause and effect, Howie. Four great errors,
Oh my
Howie.
gosh, you're so right. I can't believe it's talking about your physical appearance. That's a shame.
Connor, when you brought cornbread to that potluck, that changed my whole life. I eat cornbread with chili every single time now. So
It's
thank you
crazy.
for that.
Dude, Connor,
I
you do
I didn't
great
know that
things.
was. I didn't know that wasn't like a known thing.
I
I
That's
don't
think
think
it
it is.
is. Yeah, I
I
think
think
it
I just
is.
live in
Just
I live in a like an alternate reality
where cornbread isn't a
where
thing.
cornbread, yeah, yes.
But
I
you
also
you
think when I was a
introduced him,
kid,
Connor.
yes. I also think the cornbread I had when I was a kid was bad. Wasn't good.
The
Got
only cornbread I
unlucky.
had
what's
it was the one
crazy.
from
Yeah,
school.
yeah. You didn't have the secret Ducharme family recipe, which
Ooh.
you
Yeah,
should.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
the
There's a secret
the
Ducharme family
powdered,
recipe?
Don't get your hopes up, Howie.
Oh, dude, come on.
literally like
Store
this
bought.
store bought.
Store bought.
It's gas
Oh,
though.
that's the secret recipes that
It's
it's
good
bought from the
stuff,
store.
though. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Hey,
it's
the
amazing
It
though.
still
HEB
smacks. It
cornbread,
smacks hard. I
Yeah.
I
it
cannot
does.
take
It is
away.
really good. It is really good. You got to try the HEB like bakery cornbread though, if you get the chance. It's crazy
No,
mode.
I think I have in College Station. I agree with you. It's yes.
Don't get the cheesy jalapeno cornbread though. Very disappointing.
I like to
I
Understood.
think
wanted
that
to.
that Connor bringing that cornbread genuinely did just put cornbread on Seth's radar, and now he's trying all different like cheesy jalapeno
I know,
It
cornbread.
right?
did.
I
I
know.
wasn't joking. It actually changed my life. I like changed the way I eat food because of that.
See, Connor,
Dude,
you're
cornbread's
you're a
so
beautiful
good.
individual, Connor. You just have to give
Amen,
Amen.
yourself a
Howie.
chance. You just have to give yourself a
Now you guys are
chance.
buttering my cornbread. That's so sweet.
Guys, we
Um,
got to get to 30. We have to at least get to 32.
I was
Let's
about to
finish.
go. I was about to go. I was gonna skip 32, but we can talk about it if you want to. I was about to take us to the end, what I think would be the final
To the
part.
very end. Do we want? Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
I'm not
What do
talking
you
about
mean
the
to the
very end because
end?
I
Like the
don't. I think
50?
the very end is pretty dumb. Um,
Yeah.
like 36 to 38. I'm not talking about that stuff. I don't think we're talking about that stuff.
Oh, really? Wait, you thought? Oh, I gotta reread it.
Well,
I got
It
he's
is really
very
long.
he's very like very critical of people he deems as decadent and what they should do.
Oh, I remember now.
And so I just don't think it's worth talking about because I think it's dumb. Unless y'all want to talk about it, I mean, we can.
You know what?
No, that's fair.
Wait, wait. I think maybe in the next one. Don't know. I think we should talk about something that you think is dumb, especially within this book, because I think that makes for good conversation.
Hmm.
Well,
That's true.
the thing is, I think
We
it was already
could.
kind of answered in Myth of Sisyphus, the answer to this question.
We could spend the
Yeah.
next 20 minutes in this session with what we think is dumb.
Ooh. Well, I wanted to talk about one thing, though. Like, I want to
We
talk
can
about
talk
one
about it
thing.
and then talk about
Okay.
He's really
Okay.
excited, guys. He's
It
really
Let him
is,
speak.
excited.
Let him speak.
it was like 34 and maybe some with 35, but mostly 34. The idea of like complaining and how he like harped on complaining as like it comes from weakness and like but what it like actually means like what complaining is and how it's like showing itself in creating like Christianity and like socialism, and I just thought it was really cool. I thought it was really interesting. So let me see. He
Yeah, give
talks
us a
about how
quote. Give us a line.
yeah, I'll probably give two separate lines because it's kind of two ideas revolving around the same thing. So he says in 34, a cause creating drive is powerful within him. Someone must be to blame for his feeling vile. His righteous indignation itself already does him good. Every poor devil finds pleasure in scolding. It gives him a little of the intoxication of power. Even complaining and wailing can give life a charm for the sake of which one endures it. There's a small dose of revenge in every complaint. One reproaches those who are different for one's feeling vile. sometimes even the ones being vile, as if they have perpetrated an injustice, possessed an impermissible privilege. And so, this idea of like the fact that we complain, scold people, because we ourselves feel bad. And it makes us feel better about ourselves because now we feel like, a little bit of power, a little bit of that will to power that he talks about, a little bit of that, those nicer feelings. Um, but later on, he describes this as a weakness. He says, complaining is never of any use. It comes from weakness. Whether one attributes one's feeling vile to others or to oneself. The socialist does the former. The Christian, for example, the latter. Makes no essential difference. What is common to both and unworthy in both is that someone has to be to blame for the fact that one suffers. And so he goes on a little bit more. And when the Christian condemns, calumniates, and befouls the world, quote unquote, he does so from the same instinct from which a socialist worker condemns, calumniates, and befouls society. It's this idea of like, you did something like, I'm feeling like trash, but instead of like trying to actually determine what is that's causing me to feel trash or decadent or or poor as an individual, let me actually try to figure this out and like try to actually work on feeling better because I'm too lazy or angry or scared to know the truth, or I misunderstand things, and I'd rather just feel a little powerful. Maybe take the easy route out, feel a little bit, maybe a little bit nicer, the easy way, the weak way, and just blame everyone else and everything else. As a result, complain. I say that you're wrong, or as he says, the Christian standpoint, I'm the one who should feel like trash, because I feel bad, I feel vile, like I am the one who's wrong. You know, Instead of actually trying to figure out, why you're feeling wrong, maybe how to fix it. I thought it was a very common thing that people fall into, actually. And that's why I thought it was important to bring up.
We've seen it all throughout history, man. It is a really common thing, and it sucks that people in power harp on this feeling in order to pursue whatever agenda they want to pursue. Because you see it
There's a
now,
lot of
seen it in the
complaining
past.
now.
You see it. You've seen it in the past. You see it now. It's it's such an easy feeling to take advantage of, to manipulate with.
Yeah, because then you can
Because it's
pit people
just,
against each other and like cause chaos
yeah,
while you take
and
the reins.
it takes accountability away, right? It's like, this is the reason I feel bad. It has nothing to do with me or anything I'm doing. It's all these other people or things or experiences, you know?
Scapegoats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it generates hate,
But I
which
don't,
is like so poor.
it does, but I also don't think it's like that simple because I feel like there is, I go out on a limb here and say there's value to a good vent. Sometimes you have feelings inside of you that you need to release
I mean, hold
to
on. Yeah,
prevent yourself from blowing up.
take this out into a part. You could literally put this exact same mindset into what I just said. Oh, it's it's somebody else that's making people feel this way. It's because somebody else. It's because they are manipulating and using this aspect of feeling to. You could put the same idea into that, but I think one could possibly put more weight onto that complaint than to another. I'm not going to give an example because I don't really have one, but I don't know. Like you said, there could be more value in that vent because that vent could start a positive conversation. I don't know.
I
So I
think,
guess
yeah.
I was going to say, so I guess to me, it's about like, what are you trying to accomplish? And I think I think a lot of what he's kind of getting against here is that a lot of people complain without any idea of accomplishing anything. They're just releasing it out there, and it really is just about sharing their pain, you know. And I don't know if that's like valuable, or
Yeah,
maybe that's not what he's trying to say.
Okay, I have something. Um, let's see if you guys follow me. All right, let's see if this tracks. All right.
Okay.
For example, okay, I'm walking into the kitchen. I stub my toe on the trash can. I then kick the trash can with the same foot I just stubbed. And then I curse a lot and I complain about the trash can being in that spot. I put the trash can there. I knew the trash can was there. I stubbed my toe and I hit the trash can, and then I kicked the trash can again to hurt my foot further. What did I accomplish?
more pain to yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Loud.
I think that's kind of what I was
Chaos.
going to talk about because, like, let's say you stub your toe now, but rather than doing anything against the trash can, you like go shoot. You like, or you curse, or like you complain. You're like, dude, that hurt, and then you move on. Um, I think that, I mean, that obviously is much better than what I think Nietzsche's trying to say of you take out your complaints or your feelings of negativity and and do it on something else. Like the trash
Yeah.
can.
Why the
Mhm.
fuck is that trash can there? Who the fuck put that trash can there?
Yeah,
I put the trash can there.
he's like you're throwing blame.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be
Mhm.
like, man, dude, that sucked, or like that hurt. You're not putting blame on anything. You're just like saying what happened. Kind of complain about it. I think it's the part where it comes in where you say things that put blame on things. That's where the issues really, really lie. Um,
I'm sorry, I just realized you were trying not to curse, and I just cursed right after you tried not to curse.
You couldn't help it. You couldn't help it.
I was thinking about stubbing my toe and hitting the trash can.
he got too far into it. He
I
was in
was
the moment.
invested. This was a real world experience, guys.
Like, this just happened to me, guys.
This happened like an hour ago.
That's awesome.
No, but I,
I
I
think
think what's up?
you're making you bring a really, I like the way you said that, Howie, because it's like to complain and move on. I think that's like the big, because I was thinking in my head, like, what is a vent? What's the difference between a vent? Because I feel like when I think of people, like someone just kind of getting negative out into the world for like 5 minutes straight. In my head, it's like one of three things. It's a vent or a dump or a rant. And they're all different. And in my head, I'm like, what's the difference? Well, I think a rant and a dump are like, a dump is a sad version of a rant, and a rant and a dump are just putting stuff out there. A vent is putting stuff out there with the purpose of moving on. Like, your goal after a vent should be to not talk about it ever again. Like, the whole purpose should be getting it out there. You can express yourself, you can feel it. Like you said, going, that hurt. But it's not going, an event isn't like, oh, this person, like, I guess, screwed me over all this, but it's more like, this moment in my life right now sucks. It's hard. And I need to get that out so that I can move on to the next stage of what's happening in my life. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's good in my head. Like, I think, like, expressing for the sake of moving on, I think is very healthy, versus expressing for the sake of blame or expressing for the sake of expressing.
yeah. I mean, I was going to equate it to like working out, for example. It's like it's a way to help relieve the stress of like life
Mhm.
that's being put on your shoulders. It's to help you get it out and move on. Um, and like a workout event used correctly isn't you being like, man, I this person sucks. I can't believe they would do this. It's like I feel sad. I feel bad right now. Um,
Mhm.
it's like a workout. You're trying to get it out without like doing anything like doing any harm to someone, like gossip, for example. Like paying someone in a bad frame. You know,
Mhm.
I think that's the big part, and that's why it's kind of weakness because it's the easy thing to do that, and that also like takes it away from yourself and like trying to figure out why you feel sad, like how to avoid it because like this made you sad and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I have to talk about. If y'all want to spend some time talking about what we dislike, or we can end it and then do a next episode.
I feel like if we do
All right.
next episode, got to knock this
Yeah.
chapter out. We got to get it over.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, 1,000%.
I think
I
we
mean,
could
we
probably
have
finish the book.
Yeah, I think we can too.
We have 19 more pages, I think.
we could finish the book, but can we finish all of the talking points in a one session?
That's the rub.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
the rule.
thing. We'll probably just have to read it and see. Just like
How far we
we just
get.
have to see how it goes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I just realized my book is longer than this book. Oh yeah, so once we get through 51, it's like pretty much over.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Because David and
There's
I's books also have the Antichrist at the end of it. So I was like, I got a
We do
lot
too.
more.
ours do too, but like I mean, yeah, I just
Okay.
haven't been counting that.
After 51, we have my indebtedness to the ancients.
Yeah, I think it's just saying like what he like what he's learned from them. I don't know if
Mhm.
there's gonna be very many talking points there. At least, hopefully not. We'll see. I mean, like, yeah, we'll just read. I mean, it's only 19 pages, so we can just read it and just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm
Only
down.
19 pages. Oh, it is
And then
only
we get to
19
spin the
pages.
wheel. Spin the
Yeah,
wheel,
then we
spin the
can just
wheel, spin
spend
the
the.
wheel.
It feels
Oh
like it's
my
been
It's been
god.
so
ages.
I'm actually
long.
so
Feels like it's been
excited
so age,
to
It's
so
get
been
a
long.
new.
so long.
Haven't spun the wheel in 3 months. I've been itching.
I know, dude.
Genuinely,
I need the brain
genuinely,
that.
this whole
Dude,
book club
I'm
has led me to feel a lot of excitement to get a new book. And that's not a feeling that I had ever really come across.
Yeah,
I
it
know,
was more
right?
like, okay, time for another book, but I'm actually like itching
I know, like I'm so ready.
for something new.
I'm
Like
excited.
I
I'm
want some
excited for the
experience. I
next
want a new
read.
experience.
I want to, yes,
dude,
I want to switch it up, man. I want to switch it
A
up.
new voice. All
a
right,
new
cool. So let's
voice,
knock it out.
new
Yeah,
Knock
let's
it
culture.
do it.
out. New book, new voice.
Although this
We're getting
Tuesday,
another Nietzsche book.
This Tuesday. If it's
nothing.
another Nietzsche
But
book, we're spinning again. I'm saying it right
If
now. We can't do two back to back.
if it's thus books Zarathustra though, I think we allow it because that one's like a story. It's a
Why?
story. It's a story.
I personally am down with whatever book.
Thus book Zarathustra
I
is not
think
like this. It is a
the
story,
wheel
and it's
spins,
such
the
a
wheel
fun story.
decides, and that is final.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. What
Okay.
we're cowards,
David's
Seth.
so
You're a
right.
coward, Seth. Stop making me a coward. You're
I am a
decadent.
little
You're
scared.
decadent, and you're bringing it
Okay.
onto me. You're putting it out into
I
the
am a
world.
little scared of another 3 months of Nietzsche. Okay. I'm a little
We
terrified.
read Meditations for damn. I actually don't even remember
We
how
did
long.
read Meditations for we did read it for a long time. That's fair. That would have been 12 book clubs in our format, which would have been 6 months.
That's actually
So
so crazy.
I know, and we definitely weren't doing it every 2 weeks either.
It was like maybe.
Every three to yeah. All right,
All right,
all
cool.
right.
Sounds good,
Well,
boys.
Tuesday.
yes,
Yeah,
I will see
Tuesday.
y'all this Tuesday. If we can, 7 o'clock on the dot. I won't be 16 minutes late this time.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the big announcement.
Oh,
Oh shoot. I mean, I can do it now and I'll say it at the beginning of the next one. Um, Seth, congrats. Can I
I
get a
knew it
round of
was
applause?
coming.
Seth,
Uh,
you are now number 3. David, you're now number
I'm
4.
number 3.
Congrats,
Let's
Seth.
go. Let's
Congratulations.
go, baby. Let's
I was being
go.
too complacent. I want some challenges.
Yeah.
Now you have to fight back.
I would
Now it's
like to
David's
thank
turn to fight
I would
back.
like to thank the Academy.
You've earned it. Except, let me tell you, it's not just because of David slacking. I think you have earned it. I think you have shown some real
Wow.
commitment, and
Wow.
you've been performing better, and you've
I've
earned
been
it.
showing some good energy.
Yeah, you've earned it, Seth.
Hell yeah.
You know, Seth, something rubs me the wrong way about a chum muncher talking to you like that.
You know what I find interesting? I find it interesting that the two chums are the ones on top.
It is
Oh, it's
interesting
almost
how
like
that
you
turned
might be a
out.
little biased, huh?
Yeah,
I think I am
it's a
a fair
chumocracy.
and impartial judge. Okay.
The chumocracy.
Chumocracy.
It's a munch-tatorship, okay?
Seth, let me say this. If I see you, you're on a good trajectory. There is a universe to become number two. I think at some point.
Oh, whoa.
Now that
That's
is nuts.
crazy. The
I
token
I
crabby.
think there's a universe where this could happen. So just keep it
Okay.
up. Just keep it up.
Well, I'll keep it up.
Connor,
I'll
don't
keep
be
working.
slacking.
Then David, the two white guys are at the top. Am I right?
I'm the three of them, bro.
That's funny.
Whoa! I'm one in one. There's
Whoa.
one in.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're taking this conversation there.
Wow.
If you want to hear more, subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, this will all be worked out in the Patreon. All right, guys. Well,
Oh, man. All
y'all
right.
have a good
Book
night.
club.
Great
Y'all
book club,
too.
as always.
Great book
Deuces.
club.
We'll talk more about what chapters we'll read Tuesday.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
well,
we're
yeah, let's
finishing
see
it,
how it
right?
pans out. But let's read. Let's
Or just
finish
keep.
it. Let's read and finish it, and we can see how it
Yeah.
pans
Or
out.
I guess
Finish the
I'm talking
book.
more about our next book club meeting.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Dope. Well, good book
All
club,
right.
guys. Y'all have a good night.
Yep. That was
Y'all
Enjoy
well.
the
be
rest
ready
of your
for
weekend.
Tuesday.
See y'all. Thank you for listening to today's book club. If you want to support us, please feel free to leave a rating and review on wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so either one of those would be great help. Also, leave a follow. That'd be amazing too. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, please leave some comments, like the video, subscribe. Another way you can help support us is we are Amazon affiliates, which means you'll see in the description wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast on the episode, there will be a link to the book that we are currently covering, or if we spin the wheel to select our next book, you'll also see a link to the next book that we will be covering as well. And these links are to the books the exact same books that we are reading during the podcast. So, if you're going to read the book anyways, it'd be a great help if you could use the link. It's going to be no additional cost to you. And we do get a small uh, percentage of the proceeds. So you get a book, and we also get a benefit. It's a win-win, honestly. And even if you don't get, like, even if you don't use the link, I still recommend getting the book. One, because it helps to read what we're reading, so you can kind of have some more context into what we are discussing, as well as having your own book. We're not covering everything in the book on the podcast. That's impossible to do in an hour and a half, and so it allows you to get some really nice information in there that again we just can't cover. And it also allows you to annotate your own book. So, if years down the line, you can kind of come back to the book, kind of remind yourself on the lessons you learned. And, if you reread it again, you can have almost like a conversation with yourself back in time too. It's really an investment to, I think, read and buy books. So again, thank you for listening to Book Club, and can't wait to catch you in the next one.